Now that the decayed land has no use for us anymore, we can sail anywhere our heart pleases to. We sailed all the way across South Coast, ending up on the east side of the continent. They really need to build more docks in this game. Entering the first city we find, Crescent Lake, we talk to this lady who is displeased about her husband. He sounds like a Pokemon trainer. Ah, there he is. What a coincidence that he happens to be in town when I arrive. Since we were getting rich, I wanted to buy more black spells. But it seems the red mage cannot get any black spells above level 5. Is this the moment Pesty falls off? Luckily, we didn't go with 2 red mages, so at least one of the mages can still learn higher level spells. In the eastern part of the city, we found wizards in some sort of summoning formation. We made sure to read everything they had to say, and the last wizard gave us a canoe. This can be useful to seal the rivers and canals since our boat is too big to pass through. Exploring a bit on the southern part, I wanted to check out what the big circle thing was. Not a lot of issues going on here apart from this croc who nearly killed Ekay in a one hit. It suddenly feels like we are underleveled. The circle seems to be a volcano, and it does look lovely inside. It burns! It burns! Throughout Mount Gulug there was a lot of chests, practically all of them being guarded by fire elementals and lava worms. None of them being as annoying as these centipedes, who of course poison you. And to be honest, these centipedes aren't even the most annoying enemies in this volcano. The prize for the number 1 most annoying enemy goes to these damn birds, because they straight up one-shot you, no matter how much defense or health you have. Reviving them back to life made Ekay realize something. Fisting is now his signature move. That definitely helped him to survive this time. Since we had a bunch of tents to restore mana and revive them, we might as well use it. This looks like a small tent though. I hope they aren't sleeping together in one bed, since Ekay has a new signature move. Healed up and ready for battle, we went back into the volcano. I thought Pesty was going to be the punching bag, but Ekay wants to be the main character it seems. Venturing through a lot of floors, we found the boss room. This room map certainly feels like cheating at this point. I guess it's time to restore the second crystal. This boss certainly felt more difficult compared to the Earth one, not just because Ekay died again, but maybe a little bit because of that. With the power of coolness, we brought him back to life and made everyone glowing invisible powerhouses. That is 2 crystals restored. We are going through this game at a rapid pace now. Next I went to the other patches of grass to see what else there was to find. Apart from this cavern there was nothing, but the cavern of ice is quite big and filled with treasures. Eventually we found this white stone-like item guarded by an evil eye. Me, thinking it would be a decent challenge, I tried to plan the fight, only to literally one-shot him with Ekay. The white stone is called a levy stone. I have no idea what this is used for or that we were looking for this, but it is a mysterious rock that floats in the air. Yeah, that doesn't help me at all, so we went back to our ship to see where else we can go. Anything north would be fine, but after searching for about 15 minutes I just couldn't find a dock, and the map suggests no dock either. I had literally no idea where to go now or even find a clue, and because Ekay couldn't help us either due to his constant deaths, I asked these wizards. But even they had never heard of the Levystone before. Apparently, you need to bring it to this desert. And you can only know this if you find a specific elf in Elfheim, who I probably talked to, but wasn't interesting enough to memorize it. Thanks random person on the internet who gave us this clue 4 years ago. Airship acquired. Time to land in the northern parts of this game. Ah, this looks like a sweet spot to explore the whole landmass. Wait, what? I cannot land here? Do we need some specific tiles we can land? But I want to see what's inside this village. Nope, it's also not possible here. Regular grass is fine. I guess we just go to the tower from the introduction video. One step into the desert and Pesty instantly dies due to overheat. Ekay shortly after as well. But that is logical due to him having 0 equipment. The desert might not be the best place right now, so we quickly flew away. At last, a landing place next to something that seems safe. Gaia. Not able to understand the people you say? Let's see if we are able to. Lupa Gamhido? Yeah, no, I can see why he has a hard time communicating with them, so we will have to skip this village for now. The fairy is missing from the pond in Gaia because this gentleman decided to kidnap her and sell her. Sir, that is not something you should do. Since everyone in Gaia gave different clues, there was just so much to do. We have two options. Try to remember everything by either having insane memory or writing it down, or the more fun option for now, just go to the next area until stuck and cry about not seeing enough clues. The first being this tower, where acquiring the crown finally has its use. We sat down on the throne, using a bunch of teleporting devices to eventually find a red steel. I really wonder how this can be a key item. Since making soup with the red steel was no option, we went to a few holes found on different islands, being the dragon caves. One dragon is talking about a token of courage. Surely this is just a coincidence, right? In one of the dragon caves we can find the chamber of Bahamut, the dragon king. The red steel really was a fitting token of courage, huh? We all changed into chats. I just can't unsee chat, especially Ekay. Now that we are chats, we can learn all spells we couldn't learn before. Quickly exploring the most northwest part of the map, there were only 2 to 3 spots left to land with a ship. The first place being this grassland, which I used to get to the village I came across, Onrak. The people in this village mostly gave us the same clues or were additional information to those in Gaia. The caravan clue made me go to the desert to the west to see if I could find anything. Nothing here means I'm blind or it ain't unlocked yet. At least the waterfall was quite obvious. Oh no, it's these birds again. Phew, no casualties this time. Every time I see Ekay with sunglasses, I cannot unsee John Travolta, even though they don't look that close. Well, some robot gave us the warp cube, whatever this will be used for. I went to the desert with the sand tower, but we are unable to enter this one for an unknown reason. At this point, I felt kind of stuck again. I couldn't find the caravan, and it felt like I couldn't do a lot either with the other given clues. So I went back to the dancing lady, since she should know what we might need to do, right? It seems like she has no idea either. So far, the oh so helpful dancing lady. I talked to everyone I remember to see if I could find any clue to send me in the right direction, but no luck anywhere. It pains me to say I did a quick search again. What am I missing? Apparently, we just have to guess where it is, and it seems I just skip this specific spot every time. Since the moment I checked this tile, I did find the caravan. We can't even fight him to get back the ferry? Buying is our only option, I suppose. Upon entering Gaia, the ferry returned to the pond and gave us access to oxygen. This lady was looking for some, since her self-made submarine kept getting out of oxygen. Oh, she was a ghost apparently. Well, this is my submarine now, taking us to the sunken shrine. Apart from a lot of sea monsters, I learned 2 things here. The first one is those tornadoes being called water elementals. Not sure about that one, but I would call them either a wind or air elemental. But you do you, game. The second thing is this is probably the area where we restore the first crystal. And this is only based on those elementals, since the other 2 crystal areas also had elementals. Talking about consistency. By totally not cheesing the map, we found the crystal area. While the boss certainly hits Ekay hard... No, not hitting on Ekay, that's not what I meant! I was kind of sweating not for if Ekay gets one shot, but more when he gets one shot. And out of all 3 crystal bosses, this felt the easiest. But I also feel like I am a bit higher level due to not being able to find the caravan. Quickly going back to share our adventure to progress to the 4th crystal, I noticed something. We have 14 out of the 32 available chests. This is not something we can just slip through. I went back into the caverns to get the other chests. Most of them being in this weird block room area. I guess we saved the mermaids? I might have forgotten that we were saving them already. I take a wild guess that the lady we saw earlier might not be a ghost, but a mermaid. Or both, who can tell. The Rosetta Stone. I remember someone talking about this in town. Next up, Une. I must admit, it took me longer than anticipated to find Une. Mostly because I totally forgot who Une is if we ever met him, but I suspect he would look somewhat like his brother. After a long search, we finally found Une, who deciphered the tablet, learned the language and taught me the language in about 1 minute total. That is pretty smart for 2 people, I must admit. It has been a long time since I've met someone who was able to learn a whole language in just 1 minute. The people in Lufenia mostly told me that they were the descendants of a race that once lived along the clouds. Sid. Now that is a name I've heard plenty of times before. One of them even gave us a chime, an item required to enter the Mirage Tower, which is the tower in the desert called, if I understand them correctly. But you know, climbing that tower is something we will do next time. Make sure to subscribe to always be up to date with the Final Fantasy series, and don't forget to check out Ekay's channel for a more old school style playthrough. See you all in the next one. Cheerio!